Hello, I am Brian Conlon, Development and Public Works Operations Division Director. Today, I'm presenting the proposed Operations Division budget for fiscal year 2025. This presentation cover slide shows a variety of activities performed by operations staff on public works systems. In January, Springfield experienced the worst ice storm in over 50 years, with estimated damages to 20,000 public right-of-way trees. As you can see in the picture on the top right, fallen trees covered the entire roadway on South 71st Street. This budget presentation will include a brief overview from Surface Operations Manager Ben Gibson discussing support activities related to the ice storm, along with an overall look at OPS proposed fiscal year 2025 budget. OPS' primary charge is to operate and maintain the city's public infrastructure. Examples include fleet management, street surfaces, traffic control systems, wastewater conveyance, surface and subsurface storm drainage, street trees and urban landscapes, emergency management, city buildings and lease property, and GIS data management. Our team's driving principle is to perform high-quality work while maintaining these public assets to extend their useful life. Performing preventive maintenance costs substantially less than rehabilitation and replacement of these assets. OPS has a role in transportation planning and engineering for land use plans, current development permitting, and transportation facility plans. We also oversee administration of the regional fuel facility for our partners, including Springfield Public Schools, Willamette Parks and Recreation District, and Rainbow Water District. The Geographical Information Systems team, GIS, provides multiple forms of mapping and data management services for the city. These include creating maps and imaging tools to support community development, environmental services, operations, and other city departments. The January 2024 ice storm points to the importance of the city's emergency management program. Strategic actions support the city's efforts to respond to and effectively manage unforeseen emergencies and disasters. Our objective is to prepare, respond to, mitigate, and coordinate city government services and help the community recover from an emergency event. Before we get into the upcoming budget, please note the increase in OPS fiscal year 24 amended budget includes costs incurred from the January 2024 ice storm. These funds were allocated to Emergency Operations Center management, personnel services, tree trimming contracts, debris cleanup, and the public debris drop-off site. OPS total current staffing is 75.97 FTE, including full-time employees and seasonal summer staff, with a proposed total budget of $16,617,882. The proposed personnel services and materials services budget is an increase due to inflationary costs for employee compensation and benefits. Costs also continue to rise for construction materials and products. I'd like to point out some of our accomplishments during the current year. The citywide LED streetlight upgrade project through an energy services contractor is nearing completion despite setbacks due to the storm damage. This project was funded by American Rescue Plan Act funds. Some of the benefits of this project include an estimated 50% reduction in electric costs. Further savings will be achieved by reducing maintenance needs due to the prolonged lifespan of fixtures and lights. Our traffic team will see functional benefits that include remote operation capability and better light output control. Our building maintenance staff continues to keep our buildings functioning despite some very old systems that require frequent attention. Examples are heating, ventilation, and air conditioning, elevators, plumbing, lighting and electrical, and fire suppression systems, to name a few. The Fire Marshal's Office performed inspections at all city buildings over the last year. These inspections identified areas that required support system updates and corrective actions to achieve compliance. This work has been completed for the Justice Center, City Hall, and all 5 fire stations in the city shop facilities. Facility staff is currently working to address city leased properties. Recent projects include replacing the roof at Fire Station 5, installing a new HVAC unit at Fire Station 4, storm damage cleanup and repairs at all fire stations, enhancements to City Hall and Justice Center door security, and improvements to City Hall offices, meeting rooms, and lobby. The wastewater crew has been busy maintaining the wastewater collection system pipes through routine jetting, closed-circuit video inspections, root foaming, and underground pipe repairs. Our fleet maintenance technicians will complete 800 work orders this year. 500 of those work orders are Springfield Police Department vehicles, primarily patrol cars. The new fleet software system is proving to be valuable in documenting vehicle services and safety records. The release of the Springfield Data Hub by Springfield's Geographic Information Systems team has proven to be a successful step towards enhancing accessibility to crucial data and information for Springfield residents, businesses, and stakeholders. The Data Hub signifies a significant milestone in promoting data accessibility, transparency, and community engagement. These tools are process improvement for developers, other agencies, and the general public. Like many employers, the Operations Division has faced a rise in staff retirements and resignations. We currently have 25 new field apprentices enrolled in our 3-year apprenticeship and training program, more than ever before. There are inherent costs associated with properly training and equipping staff for our work. However, this situation has presented an opportunity to collaborate closely with human resources to enhance our recruitment and retention processes, thereby aiding us in achieving and furthering our diversity, equity, and inclusion objectives. Today's Operations Division looks and feels different. We aspire for individuals to join us and thrive in an environment where everyone can succeed. Now we'll hear from Surface Operations Manager Ben Gibson, who will share more accomplishments.
Hello, I'm Ben Gibson, Surface Operations Manager for DPW Ops. The January 2024 ice storm overwhelmed the Springfield community and presented many operational challenges for all city departments. 2 days prior to the storm, the city fleet shop began readying sanders, plows, de-icing equipment, and public safety vehicles. Operations staff stayed informed of changing weather forecasts and developed community messaging in advance. Our forward planning was no match for the 2 to 3 inches of ice that turned Springfield into a Mother Nature war zone. Ops management staff made a decision to operate on 2 12-hour shifts with 4 teams of 2 deployed for each shift, achieving around-the-clock response. Roadways were covered in several inches of ice, which limited our response to many parts of the city, and especially hillside residential streets. An estimated 20,000 trees in the public right-of-way were impacted to the extent of downed trees and branches and hazardous hanging limbs prohibiting safe travel. Many residents experienced significant damage to their homes and vehicles. During the month of January, our administrative office staff, Marcy and Mindy, received and responded to over 1,000 additional storm-related customer service phone calls, 10 times higher than our normal call volume. The governor has requested a presidential disaster declaration, which will allow the city to receive 75% reimbursement of its eligible expenses. If the declaration is approved, we expect to receive the reimbursement sometime in FY25. We estimate a cost of $5 million. When the statewide emergency declaration was put in place, we contracted with local tree companies and also requested mutual aid from the Oregon Department of Forestry for tree debris removal and cleanup. We also worked with Lane Forest Products to establish a community drop site to help residents dispose of their tree debris. We've made great progress with cleaning up the city, and this work will continue for many months. The paving crew completed approximately 2,800 linear feet of thin lift overlay on South 51st Place between Daisy and Main Street. Thin lift overlay projects are very popular with residents living on unimproved asphalt mat streets. Ops staff completed 4 miles of preventative maintenance crack sealing on city local residential streets in preparation for the fiscal year 24 slurry seal project. Again, this year, Springfield and Lane County did a joint procurement and construction contract for a residential street slurry seal project. Working with Lane County has proven to be a cost-effective way to achieve a high-quality product at the lowest price. Operations is responsible for the maintenance of over 140 bioswales, rain gardens, and infiltration basins, and that number continues to rapidly grow with each new private development and public improvement. This past year, we added 5 new positions for the maintenance of surface drainage facilities to properly operate and maintain the city's water quality facilities. Additional staffing has allowed for year-round operation and maintenance to improve functionality and reduce the risk of flooding, mitigate invasive plants, and provide better environmental protection. And now Brian Conlon will continue with our fiscal year 25 initiatives.
At 58th and Astor Streets in Springfield, city staff is working on a project to rehabilitate the street surface and construct new ADA sidewalks. The GIS team is working with the street and engineering teams to implement a new pavement management system that will provide improved tracking of city street conditions, which helps in planning and budgeting for pavement maintenance and rehabilitation. The traffic team is working on a long-term traffic signal control modernization project to replace 1970s technology and align it with current ODOT standards. Traffic ops will accelerate the replacement schedule due to a server and central management system failure. Staff will continue to capture street tree inventory information utilizing Oregon Department of Forestry software, which will help us with scoping future needed investments in the city's urban forests. The surface stormwater team will continue to perform stormwater cleanup and functional maintenance activities on the city's bioswales, channels, and ditches. The levee emergency action plan was completed in fiscal year 24. Work will begin this summer with the Corps of Engineers on a feasibility study to evaluate the levee's condition compared to current federal standards and identify ways to modernize the levee as well as stabilize the river channel. Funding for this study is provided on a cost share with the Corps of Engineers. There is an overdue need to conduct a comprehensive facilities condition report on the city's public buildings and lease properties. Our fleet management team will benefit from acquiring accreditation through the National Institute of Automotive Service Excellence. Becoming ASC certified will identify that our shop meets industry standards, improves our staff's technical ability, increase their credibility for testifying in court cases, and create annual ongoing trainings and skill assessments. Ops will contract to clean 1 small diesel storage tank and 1 large gas storage tank at the regional fuel facility. This cleaning process is necessary to remove sludge and petroleum and mineral deposits, while also allowing for tank structural inspection. Looking ahead, operations recognizes that there is a significant maintenance and capital backlog for both city streets and city buildings. Securing needed revenue for these long-standing funding challenges is critical. Staff is working with the finance department and the city manager's office to begin evaluating options to generate more resources to address these unmet needs and growing backlogs. The regional fuel facility is now over 30 years old and needs efficiency and safety upgrades. This year, as previously mentioned, we are cleaning 2 large fuel storage tanks. We will work with the agency partners from the Springfield School District, Willamette and Rainbow Water District to develop a financial plan to make the appropriate updates. This will include replacement of the card lock system and software, fuel dispensing pumps, and fuel tanks, as well as improved restroom facilities and asphalt maintenance and repairs. The current operations facilities are approximately 60 years old. Many of these buildings and storage facilities need rehabilitation or replacement. We lack adequate men's and women's locker room facilities as we outgrow the current space. Consequently, OPS identifies a need to consult for potential expansion and improvement of these important public service facilities. This concludes the Operations Division's current and proposed budget summary of programs and services. If you have any questions regarding this information or other budget questions, Operations management staff will be present at the budget committee meetings to assist and answer questions. Operations staff strives to meet the needs and challenges of operating and maintaining the city's aging and growing public works assets. Thank you.